interaction. Can anyone please read the list? Mr. Herrera. Interaction. So it says that classrooms are diverse with students having different abilities and interests. Teachers must be flexible, adjusting strategies when needed to maintain positive interactions, motivate learners, and promote cooperation. So with this, my fostering environment is a very suitable learning environment that makes learning become more meaningful and rewarding. Okay, thank you, Mr. Herrera. So in short term, I would like just to summarize. When we say interaction, it's most likely interact with people with different walks of life, with different story, with different abilities and interests. That's what we call interaction. It's most likely, like for example, here in our first year, we are still adjusting on interacting with one another because we have different attitudes, we have different, like, different issues that we feel. That's why it's important for us that when we talk about interaction, we also include respect, understanding, and of course, believing that there will always be space of growing. So there are actually examples of interactions. The example one, which is the diversity of learners. Second is the teacher's flexibility. Example three is the cooperation and harmony. So allow me first to give you the first concept, which is the diversity of learners. So when we say diversity of learners, students show varying abilities and interests that requires different approaches. As we all know, we are already practicing the Howard Gardner theory, which is the multiple intelligence theory. There are already 8 intelligences that is been existing. Can anyone give me the 8 intelligences? Okay, Mr. Sison.
Visual spatial.
Visual spatial. One of the examples of intelligence.
Bodily kinesthetic.
Bodily kinesthetic.
Musical. Interpersonal.
Naturalistic.
Logic and mathematics.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sison, for trying. Most likely your answer is accurately correct. Allow me first to give you what is the definition of interpersonal. So when we say interpersonal, it's most likely how we interact with other people. It's most likely being able to communicate with them, just like Mr. Malato, who has friends, not just in the CPE department, but also in other departments. That's what we call interpersonal. It's most likely the intelligence for you to be able to communicate and connect to others through building harmonious relationship. That's what we call interpersonal. Now we're moving towards to what we call the intrapersonal. So when we say intrapersonal, it's most likely within ourselves. Most likely when we are self-aware about our actions, open for learning. That's what we call intrapersonal. It's most likely within us. It's how we deal within ourselves by assessing on what aspect of ourselves need to improve. That's what we call intrapersonal. Next is the bodily kinesthetic. Bodily kinesthetic are not just most likely dancing, but it can be also acting. That's how you will be able to use movement, incorporating your mind and your movement. That's what incorporating your mind, your body through making actions and making emotions. That's what we call the bodily kinesthetic. The fourth one, which is the logical mathematical, the ability to analyze and comprehend. That's what we call logical mathematical. And next one is the verbally linguistic, the ability to speak in front of audiences. That's what we call verbally linguistic. Fun fact about it, verbally linguistic is not just always about public speaking when it comes to using language English, but it can also be used such as Filipino language. So, it doesn't mean that you don't know how to speak English, you're not already verbally linguistic. It's most likely every kind of aspect or language that we use in linguistic can be still considered as verbally linguistic. The next one is the naturalistic, which is most likely involves the curiosity of one individual, but also know how to harmonize and also use elements of nature in incorporating through intelligence. That's what we call that. And next one, which is what other intelligence, which is mathematics, analyze. What pa? There's two pa. Visual spatial is most likely incorporating arts, the mind itself, the ability to convert knowledge into creativity. Then afterwards, after the musical. So musical, we are often being misconstrued the fact that musical is most likely public, it's most likely singing, right? But no, it can also be musical. It's not just about singing, but also the appreciation on music. That's what people can still be considered musical. And the last one, which is the 9, which is the existential one, most likely being super phenomenon. That's what we call the 9 intelligence, on having the multiple intelligence. So the next one is the second example is the teacher's flexibility. Teachers adjust methods instantly when negative interactions or challenges arises. So as a future pre-service teacher, it is important for us to be able to be flexible, because not every learners are the same. They are not the same when it comes to intelligence level. Why? Anyone has an idea about it? Idea. Okay, Mr. Lau. How do you think students' learnings are not the same level of them?
So as a future or as a student teacher, so sometimes your teacher assigned is at least different. For example, some student teacher we taught or teach grade 7 or grade 8, grade 9 or it also in senior high. So there's different. For example, your teacher, assigned teacher will teach in all or not senior high, so we will taught differently. So unlike the junior high part, we will teach mathematics or simple mathematics, but in senior high, we will teach mathematics like calculus, like that.
Thank you, Ms. Javo. Okay,
for teacher being flexible. So why? Because here, as we research in teaching, so we will encounter throughout the way those students that has different level of intelligence. So there are students, except for the student that is fast learner and slow learner, there are also students that are good at different intelligence, like what you have mentioned. So we should be flexible in handling that kind of thing.
Okay, very good, Ms. Grace. Now, Ms. Pansakala. Okay, done. Thank you. So now we will move towards to the core cooperations and harmony, encouraging teamwork, and congeniality with mindfulness and among students. What do you mean by congeniality? Okay, Mr. Herrera.
This is a set of quality that we are able to share and gain rapport with others.
Excellent. Very good. Now, that's what we call congeniality. Most likely, the ability to build positive, harmonious relationships towards others. That's what you call congeniality. So, it's important also. Okay, everyone, can you listen? Because I will be asking randomly questions if you don't listen at all. Okay, are you still in the class? Yes! Okay. Now, so when you say it's important for us to apply hard cooperations and harmony so that we can be able to connect and have a strong foundation towards one another. That's just as simple as that. Next. The next demo